Hey, what's happening, everybody? Rod J back again to take a look at another beer. Thanks for swinging by to check out another video. I'm going to take a look at one from one of my local breweries here. This is from Wooden Cats Brewing Company. This is the Reformation Scottish Stout. They are actually located here in Newport, Kentucky. This was actually provided to me from Randy, the owner of the brewery. They just went to bottling it in the last few months, so he provided this to me so I could actually do a review on it. So just full disclosure on that point there. If you're not as familiar with Newport, Kentucky, and a play off that name from Reformation back in the 60s, it was actually known as kind of an underground mob city. So a lot of mafia activity would come through Cincinnati, and right across the river is Newport, Kentucky. And on one of the streets there located, it's called Monmouth Street. They used to have a lot of underground type clubs that would take place. It was known that Frank Sinatra would actually play out there frequently as well for a lot of the mafia connections, I guess you could say. And it had a history that they had to clean up after the 60s into the 70s and 80s, and more recently up into the 90s where they finally got rid of the last little go-go bars. So kind of an interesting play. So it fits really in with the name of Reformation. The bottle design they have is their logo on here. So like I said, they just came out with these, which are pretty decent of a label. The one thing I would say on this though that caught my eye, it mentions on here to pour into a chilled glass and enjoy. And you guys know how I am about chilled or iced glasses. Not a big fan of that. I think it meets your flavors for your beer and also affects the aroma. The funny thing is at the brewery, the glasses aren't chilled, so I'm not sure why it is actually on the label, but it is on there, and I don't know why that may have taken place. But let's go ahead and get it open and get it into a glass and see what it has to offer. I was going to show you there. It came out a little bit of smoke, so not sure why everybody really gets excited on the smoke part, but I see it on a lot of the videos. So ABV on this one comes in at 7%. IBU is estimated, I believe, around 29. Doesn't really give too much of a head, as you see there. Actually gives no head. And I really tried to balance it out to get a little bit of a head on there, but it just didn't hold. But that aroma, you do get a nice amount of the malt sweetness coming out of the glass. You definitely get kind of that caramel type smell, kind of a candy type sweetness. But away from that, it's pretty much just a sweetness. You're not picking up any hop action or anything on the back end. A little bit of a breadiness. Let's go and get the taste. The taste on it has that nice feel of the chocolate from the malts. Get a nice little sting up front on the tip of the tongue. But it does have a nice crisp break as it goes to the back. Now after the swallow, about 4 or 5 seconds afterwards, I'm picking up some coffee type flavors, which is nice. Got a little bit of a roast in there. It's got a nice amount of body on it. It's not too thin, which I run into with some other type of stouts or things like porters where it's kind of that thinner type texture. This one actually holds together well. It really gets off the tongue nicely. I'm getting some good mouthfeel and mouth coating as it gets around. I do enjoy the duration on this one. As I'm sitting here talking, as I'm relaxing, I'm picking up more and more of that chocolate flavor. It's not over carbonated, which is nice. It plays out very well in that regard. Very, very palatable. Nice medium bodied type stout here. Pretty good shape overall for the most part. I think on the appearance, I would have liked to have a little bit more of a head, even to get it up on some of the stouts. They don't get up as high, but to get like a finger or a finger and a half ahead, I think would have been good on that pour. But as far as the quality of the beer, definitely a nice quality beer. It's got a nice amount of flavor to it and holds up well versus some other stouts out there. It's not going to be one that's going to be maybe, I'm going to say knock you back, but it's got a very solid foundation and is a pretty good one overall. Now, I will say this one was actually done on another version, which I have a bottle in the fridge, which will be another review that I've had on draft at the brewery, and it was actually aged in Buffalo Trace barrels. That one actually plays out even stronger than this one, so I'll share the thoughts on that one when I do that review. I liked it when I had it on draft. Haven't had it from the bottle yet, so when I open up the bottle on the next one, that'll be the first time having it from the bottle. Again, that was something provided by them for me to check out. And as always, I just tell people, I'm going to try to give you the honest review as I can. And I always appreciate if people do want to share that on their beers, that's fine. But, you know, no way is it that's something they have to do, of course. But, you know, I just let them know that if they do that, I'm going to be honest and forthright with it. So there you have it. The Reformation Scottish Stout. If you're a stout type fan, it's a nice beer to check out. Now, distribution right now is a little bit more limited, so it is something more, I think, in the local area here, although it is popping up in some stores that I've seen around northern Kentucky, and I believe in Ohio as well. They might have it in Indiana now. And if you happen to be in the Cincinnati area, just another one of the local breweries, you could actually stop in and see what they have to offer. Well, I appreciate you swinging by to check out another video. I look forward to catching you next time. Keep drinking those good craft beers, and cheers.